Hey guys, we're here today to talk about two of the more popular machines in the trimming industry. Here we have the CenturionPro Mini. It's a good looking little machine. And over here we have the Twister T4. Looks like something out of a Terminator movie. Very nice looking machine. Now, a lot of people have been talking, which machine should we purchase? The price is typically around $66,000 to $6,500. So the price point, there's not too much of a difference, but in terms of speed, in terms of closeness of cut, and in terms of efficiency. So let's take a closer look at both machines and form our own opinion on which machine we think is better and why. In terms of the speed of the product coming out of the machine and the closeness of the cut, you need to take a look at the critical components of these machines. Now, what I mean by critical components is the cutting reel, which actually, combined with the bed bar blade, does the cutting action of taking the leaves off of your buds. The dust collectors, which actually create the suction to suck the leaves into the cutting reel, which also are a part of the cutting action. And then for speed and quantity, you've got to take a look at the tumblers. The bigger the tumbler, the more product you can fit into it, the more product you're going to get done. So we'll start with the tumblers. Here we have the Twister T4 tumbler. It's a solid tumbler. It looks good. Seems like it's made out of stainless steel. And then over here we have the CenturionPro Mini tumbler. Same thing. The guys at CenturionPro look like they actually coated this tumbler with a non-stick product. I guess this would be similar to Teflon coating. We know how sticky the product is, the buds are that run through this, so it's always good to have a non-stick to help you along the way. Similar to cooking your eggs or your grilled cheese sandwiches on a Teflon pan versus a stainless steel pan. So kudos to the guys at CenturionPro for being able to come up with some sort of a technology to have this coating on here. Now, the length of the tumbler is relatively the same. They both look right around the 2 feet height, and that's a good thing. But one thing we do notice is the diameter of these tumblers. The guys at CenturionPro here have roughly, it looks like about a 6 or a 6.5 inch tumbler, and right here the guys at Twister, seems like the tumbler is roughly maybe 4.5 inches to 5 inches. I can actually put the Twister tumbler inside of the CenturionPro tumbler, so there you can notice the actual size difference in diameter of the two tumblers. So that's an interesting fact. So let's put these two down over here. Second thing we want to take a look at is the cutting reel. The cutting reel is, like I said, obviously is what cuts the leaves off of your bud. So when we take a look at the CenturionPro cutting reel, I can see that this cutting reel has 8 blades and is roughly 18 inches in length. So it has an 18-inch cutting surface with roughly 8 blades. And the diameter of this cutting reel looks like roughly about 5 inches. So now, move over here to the Twister T4. Obviously they have a cutting reel as well, but we notice here that the Twister T4 cutting reel has 5 blades. The length is the same, the length is about 18 inches, but it does have 5 blades. So kudos to the guys at Centurion again. They have an 8-blade cutting reel versus a 5-blade cutting reel with the guys at Twister. The diameter of the Twister cutting reel, I'd say about 4 inches. So the diameter is about 1 inch bigger with the CenturionPro cutting reel. So, those are two critical components, that control how much product is going to be trimmed and the speed is going to be trimmed at and the quality of cut that's going to be trimmed at. The third critical component we want to talk about is the dust collectors. Both dust collectors are 120 volt for convenience, so you can plug it into any wall outlet. That's a positive thing for both companies. Twister has actually put their dust collector underneath the machine. I see this as, very smart. The footprint of this machine is a little bit smaller than the footprint of this machine. fits right underneath the machine. Now, Centurion's got a blower. These guys put wheels on their blower, so for mobility, you can move this thing around and take it to wherever you want to take it to. Pretty simple. The twister blower, you have to pick up and carry. Big thing we want to look at is horsepower. That's going to be, how much power you got, how much suction force you have. The guys at Twister have a 1 horsepower blower. It's a nice blower, it looks good. But the guys at Centurion here provide you with a 1.5 horsepower blower. Half a horsepower is a lot, so once again, the guys at Centurion give you more horsepower, which is going to result in more leaf getting sucked into the blades, which is going to result in a better cut combined with the cutting reel and the tumbler. So those are 3 differences. Overall, let's take a look at the machines. The Twister T4 is a cool looking machine. They spent their money on marketing. They have the logos, they have some power box that has the lights and stuff. CenturionPro has an on-off switch. It's robust, it's hardy. It looks like it does the job. It's an industrial machine. Both machines look good. Hoppers, actually, for convenience. Where are you going to put your product, right? You want to put it, it's got to go somewhere before it goes into the machine. So, right here we have the hopper for the Twister T4. It gets secured by a couple of magnets. Put the magnets on, there it is. It's good, it works, but there's not a ton of space to be able to put product in. As you can see, it's roughly 7 inches by 4 inches. Not much there. Okay, the guys at Centurion here provide you the high capacity hopper. This hopper looks like it's roughly 2.5 feet wide by about, a foot and a half. Sorry, 2.5 feet in length by a foot and a half wide. This can probably fit you 20 or 30 pounds of wet material to get ready to get processed into the machine. So, let's assemble these machines and take a look at what they'll do once we get them running. Both of these machines come together fairly quickly. With Centurion here, you're provided with some tools, and you have 4 bolts that you got to screw down, which take about, 30 seconds, I'd say. So not too difficult to put these machines together. One more thing I'd like to mention here. Obviously, the tumblers are fairly expensive to replace. If you drop scissors in here, or even for safety, you don't want to get your hands caught in here, or if you're drinking pop on the job, you don't want to spill anything down here. The guys at Centurion actually provide you with a hard plastic cover. It also has a window for you to take a look at your product that protects your critical components from things falling in and whatever else. It's good to have. We know these machines are expensive, so we want them to last. We don't want nothing to happen. You can see over here, the guys at Twister, everything is open. There's no cover to protect your tumbler. It's a smart business move. The more people that drop scissors in their tumblers, the more new tumblers that you have to purchase. It's better for the company. We get it, but I feel this area, because it is so important and it seems really expensive, should be protected by something. So, I guess kudos to Centurion for, looking out for the pocketbooks of the consumer. So that's good.